Thank you so much for watching WRIF TV. Now, this interview is obviously with video, but I don't interview everybody on Zoom. That's why I put it on my Talkin' Rock with Meltdown podcast. We talk to rock artists from all over the genre. So check out Talkin' Rock with Meltdown wherever you get your podcasts. And now to today's video interview.
Hey, Matt, good to see you. How you doing, man?
Fantastic, man. It is very good to see you. Good to hear your voice again. I actually haven't been able to do a chat like this. Normally we're on the phone together. So last time I was talking, I was driving down the hangar.
Is that right?
Yeah. Good to chat to you, man.
Yeah. Speaking of the hangar, man, you guys have been making good use out of that, huh?
Oh, dude, it's been so amazing. It's been amazing to finally actually own a place that we want to be, that's inspiring, that's cool. I mean, there's freaking planes taking off all day. We can make as much noise as we want. We actually just talked to our builder. We had no idea we could do this, but we were, for a top secret thing, we were covering everything in black drapes. And we're like, hey, can we make a square of draping so we can like black ourselves out in the square? And he's like, why don't you just paint the whole thing black? So we're going to paint the entire inside of the giant main thing just pitch black. So this thing is going to look, it's going to look terrifying. It's going to look like, it was the episode of The Office where Dwight thought he was boss again and painted Michael's office completely black. It's going to look like that. And it's going to be awesome.
I painted my daughter's ceiling black in her workout area, and that took long enough. So I hope you guys have a better plan than I did. Because
they've got spray guns for it.
That's the way to do it. Exactly. Yes. So, speaking of black, I know you guys played with Metallica a few weeks back, and I know that you made a lot of news talking about Metallica. What a great band they are. First of all, I just want to talk about their whiskey. Did you taste some of that blackened whiskey they gave you yet?
Yes, I had to. I asked the other guys in my band, like, you guys taste? Like, oh no, we're going to keep it sealed and saved. I was like, that's a good idea. I was just too hyped. I was like, man, I have to try this. I mean, they hand delivered us their whiskey. I have to drink this. So I did. I did it right when I got home from the drive out to Hollywood, Florida. But man, what an experience. Like, it's not every day that the band that made you want to do what you do for a living, that you've been doing for 22 years, is like, hey, do you want to come open up for us at this tiny show we're playing, this tiny 7,000 person show? I guess it's so funny too that it's tiny for them. Like 7,000 is like a small room for them, but it's so cool. The guys brought the whiskey up for us, gave us a really cool handwritten note, and every time we've seen them, it's always been amazing. I remember the first time we met them, we were playing Rock im Ring in Germany. We're standing in the dressing room. His head pops in and he's like, hey, I really like your Master Puppets cover. And it's Lars. We're like, good God, this is cool. So he just came in, talked to us. He's like, yeah, the cover's awesome. They told us how they dug the band. Kirk Hammett took us out to the greatest sushi restaurant I've ever been to in my entire life on that tour as well, where he slid me the bill afterwards. He's like, this is on you, right? He's like, I'm just kidding. They're just such incredible people, man. It's to be able to meet your heroes when they're like that. That is just like the ultimate motivation in life.
That's the thing. You know, a lot of people ask me all the time, they go, who are like the jerks in rock? And I'm like, you know what? I got to be honest. Most of the people I meet are super nice. I don't know.
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Like when you get to play aggressive music, you get all of that stuff out. So then you're like a happier person. Everyone's always like, Matt, like, how do you make this angry music? You're such a happy guy and you're so funny and just like not irregular. It's like, well, it's because I get to get it out with this extremely aggressive band that I'm in.
I never thought about it that way, but I guess there is some sort of a dichotomy to that, huh?
Absolutely. I mean, the same thing. Like I've been doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for about 9 years, and that's what I was doing like from like noon to 1:30. And I come home and I'm exhausted, but I'm in a great mood. And now it just like, there's nothing that can stress me out after like having my partners try to choke me to death.
Well, there is a certain thing that is released within your body when you're exercising like that does
serotonins, right?
Yeah.
Is it serotonin or endorphin or both?
I think it's endorphins, but yeah, I think, I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but yeah, there is something that does make you feel good when you're doing stuff like that, doing stuff aggressively like that. So.
Absolutely. So I chase that feeling, like everything. I try to have everything in my life that has that. I like to have that.
Now, I'd imagine going on stage is one of those feelings.
Absolutely. Ironically and oddly though, so our new record is like has some of the most intense, aggressive, like legitimately angry sounding vocals I've ever done. To pull those off, I have to be in the best mood possible. The happier I am, the more we're laughing, the more good things going on, the more convincingly pissed off I sound. And before we tested this, there was a day I came in the studio and sent in the sentence. I was super bummed out, bad day, something was going on. I don't remember what it was. Kept hitting vocal takes at the screen part. And Josh was like, you know what? Let's call it a day. Next day we come and we're all laughing, telling stupid jokes, nothing specific, just in a great mood. Hit the same part one take. He's like, there you go. It sounds 10 times better. I don't know what it is, but there's something about that. And what's the other thing? So go up on stage. We come out when we're playing, we look super energetic and all this stuff, but I have to be on the side stage actually pretty relaxed to be the most like forceful. Like if I come at it too, like doing push-ups or jumping jacks or going straight from working out to the show, it's almost too much. And like the come downs, it's much quicker. Whereas if I come at it happy, in a good mood, funny, silly, relaxed, it allows that explosion even better. I don't know what that is, but I like my life to have those kind of parallels or those juxtapositions like that.
Yeah. So maybe a rocks glass full of black and whiskey, and then you take the stage.
Yes. Well, if that might be a little sloppier for our new material. It might be tough to play.
Speaking of that, you want to play a song for us? I heard you got a guitar. You got your
Yes, I do.
There?
Yeah. So we'll do the current single first. We'll do Feast of Fire. Apologies for the noise. We just to show how real I am. So I stream a lot on Twitch, and the other day, no joke, out the window right here, our septic tank was getting like cleaned out, flushed out. I was like, now you know me better than ever. How many other people are going to live stream, play their band's music while your septic tank is getting freaking flushed out? So,
I just had mine completely replaced a few months ago, so I know the pain. Yeah,
that's what we thought was going to happen. Like they started digging up, like, all right, the doors are all broken. We might need this. All right, we don't have to replace it, but we got to suck this thing out. And there's a bunch of Trivium fans all just watching it.
and there he is.
Yep, yeah, he's working on the windows. We're getting this cool wood placed around the house. I'm just the most professional guy in the world. I call 20 minutes late. Dude's building the house, but I promise you, my voice sounds nice and warm. So that's all.
I'm going to turn things over to you. So we're gonna put the noise and the camera just on you. So go ahead, fire it up whenever you're ready.
Journeying through the miseries, I find a tear unshed. This emptiness inside of me, it brings me out for dead. Compulsiveness for self-destruction, impulse led by entropy. I'm falling, crawling through the feast of fire, burning, singing now, keep singing now. I'm falling, crawling through the feast of fire, burning, singing now until the spirits begin to blur. Sunlight falters as we wait, the world goes up in flames. I know we will bear the words to fill up all these graves. Compulsiveness for self-destruction, impulse led by entropy. I'm falling, running through the feast of fire, burning, singing now, keep singing now. I'm falling, running through the feast of fire, burning, singing now until the still begin to blur. It was all a blur and then it was nothing. It was all a blur and then it was nothing. Through the miseries, I found a tear unshed. This emptiness inside of me, it brings me out for dead. Sunlight falters as we wait, the world goes up in flames. I know we won't be the ones who fill up all these graves. I'm falling, running through the feast of fire, burning, singing now, keep singing now. I'm falling, running through the feast of fire, burning, singing now until the spirit begin to blur. It was all a blur and then it was nothing. It was all a blur and then it was nothing.
All right, there we go.
All right, I'll do the crowd applause. Yeah, all right.
Thanks,
We'll
man.
edit this all together in post. You'll look great. So yeah, nice job. So so just listening to you play that song there, and this might be a silly question, but do you guys write a lot of your songs acoustically first?
We actually don't. It's the way we write. It's one of the three guitar players, whether Paulo, Corey, or myself, comes up with a riff, selection of riffs, an entire song. Never during a writing time either. It's always got to be something like, I played a riff on stream. I was feeling good, captured lightning in the bottle, had someone record it, sent it to the rest of my guys. We don't like to write during writing time or say, hey, let's make a record. Instead, it's when stuff starts popping up, we try to capture that. Get in the room together with the four of us and just jam it out. What's crazy about that song, we wrote it pretty quickly. We started it with the Corey riff. So the song was like a super techie, fast, crazy metal song. I was like, hey, Corey, let's make this a little bit simple. So I pulled the main riff out, struck an open D chord. The very first words I improvisationally sung when all four of us were playing it for the first time was the second verse, exactly word for word, melody for melody, like with no words in front of me, no prep. It just came out. So what's pretty nuts about this record is the phrase I've been using is, organic improvisation. We come in super prepared for things and just let the song sort of speak to us and just make it happen. The last three records only took us 2 weeks each to record, which is pretty crazy. Like back in the day, it took us we'd have 3 months to record a record, but we just come in super, super prepared and just play the kind of music that makes us feel good. But what's cool is I love translating stuff the other directions. Like on my stream, I've covered everything from making Baby Shark a death metal song, playing Justin Bieber like a thrash song, playing Cannibal Corpse like a lullaby. Like I always do the opposite. So for this song being like full band, screeching loud, it's nice and simple to be able to pull it back. And that's a key for when a song is written well, you should be able to very easily transpose it in other genres. Like I'll take our stuff and make it sound like country. I'll make it sound like a ballad. I'll make it sound like a ska song, pop punk, like anything. Like when it's written well, you should be able to pull out different parts and make it happen. That's why with No Way Back Just Through, it's one I started this morning, didn't really get to finish the idea, but it's cool when you kind of get to mess with that and riff with it a little bit.
Yeah, that it's funny you mention that because I have heard that before. If you can't play a song acoustically that you've written, then really, what's the point?
Yeah, exactly. It's tough. Like we do love technicality, we love brutality, fast stuff, and all that stuff, but there always has to be the song comes first. The song is before everything else. There's got to be something that people can latch onto and sing along with or scream along with, and that's the key. And that's the kind of stuff we like to make. We like to have there be something that you can sing along to and sing loud, but they could also go up and down in tempo and be crazy and fast and all that.
So this record that you said, it kind of came together easily, like everything just kind of fit into place. Was there any parts where you're like, you just struggled over songs or struggled over pieces or melodies or whatever?
Over these last couple of years, if we ever hit a spot like that, we're like, man, we don't know what to do. We don't force the issue. We're like, let's go work on something else. Let's work on something else till we're feeling good about this. And the proof of that is actually, I'm looking at the track list right now. The song, The Phalanx, the 10th track on this record, we wrote that back in 2007 for our record Shogun, and we couldn't figure the middle section out. So that's proof that we're like, you know what? We can't figure this thing out. Let's put this over here. And it was Paulo who, when we started collecting the riffs for this new record, he's like, let's bring back the Phalanx, Matt. Let's see if we can finish this up. So we kept the first and third movements as they are. I remember I finished that chorus. Before I could even say, I don't know where to go next, Corey started playing what became the next riff, and that became the final riff, which is pretty awesome. And then I came with the riff after that. Paulo came with the riff after that. We just love, we love to be super collaborative. It always has to be the four of us jamming together, making this thing happen in the room together. And I feel like that's the way all rock and metal needs to be. It needs to be that band in that room together, letting the song happen. Like the vibe I wanted to put it back into is not going back to anything. It's not revisiting anything other than the feeling of getting together with your friends for the first time, getting in your garage and playing music for the first time. That's the vibe I always want. I always want it to be back to that. Like, hey, let's go back to being kids, playing riffs that make us feel good. And if you go back to that and you're making the kind of music that makes you feel good as a band, that is the most pure, distilled you possible. And if you stand by that, then I believe the fans will love it next.
Yeah, like you just mentioned with the song, the Phalanx, right? Is that what you said? The last track right there. Yeah, it's like James Hetfield, somebody you've probably met before. He told me you go to the WRIF graveyard. You put that in the graveyard for a little while. Go back and pull it out. So
yep. We don't always do that, but sometimes we'll pull something out if it's just right.
Maybe you said the junkyard, because the graveyard they would have put them away. So
yeah.
Junkyard, there you go.
I like junkyard. Junkyard's cool. What would I call it? I'm not sure what I'd call it. I don't know. I don't know where the phalanx went. But what's cool about the phalanx, a lot of people are like, what the heck is a phalanx? You might already know, but it's the Roman shield wall. So everyone knows the Viking shield wall, but that's the Roman shield wall.
Yeah, this has a real historic vibe. This whole record does.
It really does. Like it's awesome how that came together. I didn't really know what the visuals would be until we started having the songs come together. We hit up the artist. Like my goal was to find someone as good as the 17, 18, 19th century masters. I was like, I want someone as good as Caravaggio. And we're like, that's not possible. But we found a guy. Like I dug on Instagram. I found an artist named Matthew Noiser out of France. He spent 4 months hand painting this monster. We still don't have it yet. Slow boat shipping over to us, but I can't wait to have it. I hope it doesn't get lost.
No, that is awesome. Yeah, great. Hey, you just mentioned No Way Back. Do you want to do that one?
Yes. I might start and stop once or twice. Maybe not. We'll see what happens.
All right. Let's see what happens.
No
here.
pressure on myself. Live radio. Like, let's try this out. Let's see.
All right. So changing the headphones. Here we go.
I am the blight, I am the emptiness, I am the night that comes for you. You can't escape, cause I am everywhere. My imminence surrounding you. You're falling further, you're falling further down. You're falling further, you're falling further down. Combination of everything you want. There's no way back, just through. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. Sacred sound, they call for you. There is no face, this is a reckoning. Mere ignorance is destroying you. You're falling further, you're falling further down. You're falling further, you're falling further down. Combination of everything you want. There's no way back, just through. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. I will not live to see the final justice, but I'll be the one that comes for you. I am the blight, I am the emptiness, I am the night that comes for you. You can't escape, cause I am everywhere. My imminence surrounding you. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. There's no way back, no way back, no way back, just through. No way back, just through. No way back.
All right, we came up with that one this morning.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah. I was like, I've never played this acoustically. Maybe we'll try this live for the first time.
Hey, speaking of live, by the way, if I'm not mistaken, you guys have a gig this weekend in Italy. Is that right?
We do not, but that would be
Oh,
cool.
No, I thought I saw that on your website. That's why I'm asking.
Really?
I said November 21st. You better check your schedule. Maybe
That might be from the tour that we just had to postpone. But I was like, man, did Metallica just hit us up again?
Gotcha. No. Okay.
Hey guys, Iron Maiden called. We need to go to Italy.
That's right. That would be pretty cool. But I was just going to ask you about, of course, that whole big thing happened with that Astro World stuff. I mean, have you ever been on stage where you thought, man, this is not going well, or stuff like that?
Luckily, there are so many videos of me, and actually, when that happened, a lot of people started circulating these videos of me from live shows throughout the years of me stopping the show. Yeah. I've stopped so many shows, and I've seen some conversations about, oh, well, when it's a festival, you can't tell. My thing is, the vantage point from the top of the festival, you can see pretty much every single thing that's happening. The Metallica show, the second song back in Hollywood, Florida, I see people looking down at the ground. Stop the song. There's someone that collapsed. I think they just partied too hard because they weren't moving yet.
Yeah.
So I was like, called the medics over, called security over, didn't hit a note, made sure they opened a path, walked them out. I've done things where I saw security and a kid fighting, and I wasn't even thinking about like who started. And I jumped. I remember this. It was Lincoln, Nebraska, I think. Threw my guitar down, jumped off stage. Like, I'm gonna go save the day. I get down there. I stand up. I'm like, they're both this much taller than me. And I'm like, break it up, boys. So I've done that. I've done all sorts of stuff. Seen like a crowd surfer coming over, and I couldn't call in time, throwing the guitar down, jump down, catch someone. You got to do what you got to do, man. You can never, like, if I ever see a pocket of people looking down, you just have to assume the worst. Someone passed out. You need to stop before people trample that person. So I can't speak to what happened at that, but reading accounts, reading the fact that like this thing went on for a long time with people being, I don't know if they knew that they were dead or that they knew at least that they were injured. But if you see something going on, just stop. Don't walk off stage. You have so much control.
Yeah.
Like even when it's not our show, like I'm thinking back to Knotfest. I'm trying to think of a big show that we just did, 30,000 people. I could see what everyone is doing. Even when dust storms are going on, like I would very blatantly be able to tell if there was people standing on top of people. You'd see like people lifted up. Now, I remember seeing accounts like, hey, if they would have stopped, it could have gotten worse. But what I would have done, and I know this, I don't want to be like one of those like backseat guys that always talks about UFC things. Like, well, what I would have done is, but like, if you see that happen, you stop, you sit there with the microphone, like, let's sort this out. Everybody clear a hole. I'm still right here. I'm not stopping the show, but let's figure out, let's save our people here. Let's save our friends and make sure everyone's safe first. Because safety is first and foremost, because these are the people that allow us to do what we do, allow us to stay alive, allow us to pay our bills, keep our families going. So I mean, metal shows have more intensity than anything in the world that I've ever seen. And I could tell what's happening at a nighttime festival. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't really know what I didn't want to watch anything or see anything. I've only read accounts, but I'm proud of the fact that we've been able to stop things and do right by our supporters, or do right by people that aren't even our supporters yet. It's always the safety of the people that are coming out to the show. That is the job of the front person. You can't put it all in security because they're only ground level of the ground level people. But if you could see what's going on up here, you have a lot of power with the microphone.
Well, Matt, I hate to cut you loose here. I got another a call here coming in, but I appreciate
no worries.
the time, and thank you so much for getting back with us, and good luck with everything. In the Court of the Dragon is out. It's awesome, and have a great Thanksgiving and holidays.
Thank you so much.
Next year,
I'm so sorry again about my tardiness. Let's do another one next week if you got a slot. I'll have some more songs.
I might do that. All right, thanks.
Let's do it. I'm in. Ask Nugent how it was hanging out with Anthony Bourdain.
Okay, gotcha.
I saw you in an episode. And I love Bourdain so much. All right, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Take care.
See you, bro.
Later.